Hello, beautiful one. Today's topic is, what does it mean to be a sovereign being? That word's coming up a lot in the awakening and ascension journey, so I just thought I would jump on here and just say what I know about it and what it means to me. Being a sovereign being means that you are sovereignly connected to your source self, to the I am, beyond any other creation force, that you are the creation force. So how many times have you felt like you were praying to a God, right? Or praying to the angels? You are a separate power or separate energy from a greater energy, okay? That is an old paradigm. And so what sovereignty means is that you have this broader perspective and you've woken up to the notion that, oh, I am that what I'm praying to. I am what I'm praying to. So you are this sovereign being that creates worlds, that creates deliberately to experience. Now this gets a little tricky because a lot of times when we have this broader perspective, we start becoming empathic and we start to notice that things are talking to us and we think that they are guidance greater than us. And so this is not sovereignty. This is still in the perspective that I am a lesser and this is more. So a lot of times we'll see people going into mediumship with light ETs or God like energies or whatever. And it's helpful. The information and the channeling is helpful. But what sovereignty is realizing that yourself is talking to you, that it's not something separate than you. So there's something else that can be happening as well. So there is allness. And then right out of that is creation energy. And a lot of that creation energy can be used to create projects. So a being, a big, broad creation being can have these projects. And human beings, embodied beings, can be part of those projects, okay? Being part of those projects is not being a sovereign being, okay? It's being part of a project of a creator being. So the way I see this is being a sovereign being, you tap into the allness and you become the creator force, right? You are not the object of experience of another creator force. You become the creator force. You become the deliberate creator having an experience as allness itself. So whenever I go into meditation, I say to myself, I'm tuning into my highest source self by me, for me, and as me. And then I expand it. Because one of my creations that I would like to see on this planet is embodied ascension. So I bring in that sovereignty and that highest frequency and I flood it in this infinite being, in this infinite body. And then I flood it into my light body. So that's what I see sovereignty as. Does that make sense? Is this making sense? Let me know in the comments. And please let me know in the comments like what you know about sovereignty. This is just what I know in this now moment, and that could change, you know. Consciousness is ever expanding, and this is what I know about sovereignty right now. But I do know that there was a body of work that I was with that was talking about being a project of a creation force. And to me, that wasn't sitting well. I was just like, why? Why is there a group of people telling me that I'm a sovereign being but I have to work under their project and their creation terms. To me, in my awareness, that didn't make any sense. And it started to make less and less and less sense until I realized that I was standing right next to that creation force as a creation force. So when we are willing to step into our power, remember our greatness, and really be our own sovereignty, you're going to be sitting next to creation forces that create worlds and universes. And you, my friend, are one of them, if you claim it. And to me, that's what sovereignty is. I don't want to be under any other person's or beings or creator forces project or experience. I want to be sovereign and be in charge of my own experience and my own creation as the allness. And then how does that leave us all connected? So if we are, now I'm just starting to feel into this. So if I'm doing this, if I am a particle of that sovereignty, when I release out of the body, I am still sovereignty. I'm still just the source energy. And we all kind of go back into the ocean of that, depending on what we aligned with, what we agreed to, what we awakened to, what we ascended to. So when we leave our bodies, all of that determines what happens after we pass out of these bodies. So that's when you hear near-death experiences, when someone had died and they died on the ER table for like 20 minutes and then they came back. You know, when you hear those stories, everyone has kind of a mystical story to tell. But if you notice, it's all a little bit different according to what they believed in, what they claimed, what they aligned with. So what you claim, align with, and awaken to in this body will determine what experience you have once you release out of this body. And then from there, you'll get to choose what's next. Or not choose, depending on what you believe. If you believe that you are less powerful than this, and you don't have choice, then you won't have that when you pass out of this body. So as a sovereign being, I believe, when I pass out of this body, I will have choice of what's next. Because there's nothing else I don't believe anything else has the say over my sovereignty and over my choices and my experiences. What do you think and know about this? This is how it's coming through me today. And for me, sovereignty is a way of life that is becoming more and more clear and more trusting. I grew up Catholic. You know, I grew up praying to God. I grew up feeling and seeking out here powers that be. And it was a long road to awaken to the fact that I am the one that I've been waiting for. I am the one that is creating my experience. I am the one to talk to and pray to. So, and, you know, coming from a Catholic upbringing, that is quite a journey. That is quite a journey to get to that level of trusting and perspective. Sometimes it's a lot to have that on ourselves, that responsibility of you're creating your experiences. You are the one who gets to be the powerful energy to shift your life. Sometimes it's easier to put it on something else. Please, God, make it show up differently. Please, God, Show me a different way. Please, God, don't let this person die. Please, God. It's sometimes it works for people to put the power into something great, what they think is greater than ourselves. And that's a huge aspect of AA. They have a lot of success with addicts, alcoholics, just surrendering to a higher power. For me, as a sovereign being, I am that higher power. And I have to step into that remembering and that awareness and step into that power. And sometimes that's a lot to hold. And not everyone wants to live that experience of sovereignty. And that's okay too. There's lots of different ways to live as a human being. There's lots of ways to have an experience as a human being. It's not totally like linear and clear cut and everyone's doing the same thing. It's not. But if you feel guided and you just have this knowing that there's something else, that something's amiss, something's not congealing, like something's not, like that's what was happening for me. Yeah, but I always was living with everything that I learned. I was like, yeah, but. And then I was like, oh, now I know. Now, it's challenging because as you go through this awakening journey, you're going to go to faith practices and you're going to go to bodies of work and communities that it's nice to be part of. But there's always a yeah, but, and you'll know that this isn't 100% for me. And you'll have to say goodbye to that community and that body of work and that energy, and until you realize and find your sovereignty. And it's can be lonely at first, and then it's also so boundless and beautiful, and you realize you're not lonely anymore because you have so much that you are. So beautiful being, if you are being called to be your sovereign self and to be the creator of your life, which really requires you to be sovereign, welcome. It's a beautiful journey and it will be revealed to you. And this is what I know sovereignty to be right here in this now moment. And of course, that could all expand and change. But in this now moment, that's what sovereignty is to me. What do you know about sovereignty? Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, I go live every Friday with live conversations, sound healing. Sometimes we meditate together. Come be part of the tribe and remember your greatness with us. So beautiful being, I will see you next time.